Jay White, possibly a new champion. Some results from the NWA and the Dominion pay-per-view. And was AJ Styles forced out of Impact? All this and more on Just Another Effin' Woohoo Podcast. Hit the music. Coming to you live from the Effin' Worldwide Media Studios, located in parts unknown. Just another effing podcast. Holy shnikes. Welcome to Just Another effing podcast.
We are going to talk about nothing until nothing is absolutely enough.
All right. There you go. That's our new tag phrase. I like it. It's going on a shirt, by the way, next week on on our website, and you can order it on prowrestlingtees.com/Evan Wrestling. I am, of course, the original Rump Shaker. I am the original Boston Badass. I am, of course, the JFB, James from Boston.
And I am that patron saint of professional wrestling, blessing you every single Sunday. Touch your TV screens today. I am Canada Dry, damn it.
Woo-hoo. Canada Dry goes down smooth. We, of course, are joined by two very prestigious individuals, Mr. Dr. Bradley Campbell and the one Jaiden Collins. Please introduce yourselves, boys. Let them know in the TV world who you are and what you do.
Well, I am the one, the only one that matters, Jaiden Collins. I am Jeff Chadwick. I am owner of Meltdown. Happy to be here along with my brother sitting that way. This reverse angle thing. But I'm very happy to be here, and I can't wait to see what how this one comes out. I was just going to mention that too. It's
now
like
you gotta show us you can twerk. So
no.
He's the original Rump Shaker. All you want to do is zoom, and a boom, boom.
Shake your butt.
one of them all. Alec 80 is watching. Hey, Alec.
What up, Alec?
He's got a bit of the COVID, but hopefully he'll
he's got the ick. He's got the COVID Delta Omicron's Persei 6.
I don't know what is that now. It's like 50 times.
Dr. Brad, introduce yourself, my brother.
So, for those who have not seen me before, I am known as the American rock star, Dr. Brad Campbell, Farm D.
Yeah.
Also known as Dr. AFW.
Yes, also Dr. AFW. Some people know me as the doc because I am a doc. I like to rock, and I'm always ready to talk professional wrestling. So,
Alex Haney says he has the effing variant for COVID. It's a privilege and an honor that the effing universe is now known for its COVID variant. I would like to thank the medical establishment for that honor. I will take full credit because I am from Boston, where most diseases originate from. Oh, yes, you're welcome.
and I'll be ready to vaccinate every single one of you.
There we go.
It is good to have a doctor on board. So before we get started and kick off the show, last week we felt so bad. We have Kenny on standby. He takes time out of his day on Sundays, a day off for him. He's got family. He's got a beautiful wife. He's got two great looking kids. Beautiful. And we keep telling him, come on the show and talk about wrestling. And so we have him in the studios, backstage in the green room. We this time I have a feeling we're gonna fit him in. We're gonna fit him in. So Ken. There he is, Kenny giving us the wave. Okay, so before we kick into Kenny's, we're going to go ahead and get into the news. news. From the four corners of the globe to your backyard, this is FNN, FN News Network, starring Canada Dry and the JFB. Good morning.
Good morning. And this cup of Joe.
Drinking a little Coke Zero. So how's it? We got Dr. Bradley, who's going to give us 5 tips to stay alive longer in a world of pandemics. And Jaiden Collins will give us all the traffic and the weather on the 9s.
Oh my goodness. We got a couple shootings down there. People are shooting each other, winning cats and dogs, but we got the coffee.
Yeah,
we do. Absolutely.
Yes. So let's get into the news really quickly. So let's go over. NWA had their big pay-per-view last night. The friend of the show, Natalia Markova, we love you, Natalia, beats Taya Valkyrie. And it was a good match. I caught the glimpse of it. It was a really good match. It was good to see our friend of the show, Natalia, kicking some ass. Trevor Murdoch is your new heavyweight champion. He is now the owner of 10 Pounds of Gold.
What are they thinking? Putting the belt back on him? I have no idea.
I had a 4-way match. You had Nick Aldis, and they gave it to Trevor Murdoch.
Well, maybe it's just a placeholder thing until he's ready to tell Cardona's ready to come back. And
yeah, that's like Google giving out the best award for the best president of their division, and then they give it to the janitor.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Campbell, what do you think?
That didn't make a lot of sense to me. I mean, Aldis is one of the best wrestlers out there today. I mean, he's the face of NWA as far as I'm concerned. And y'all know I'm a huge fan of Mr. William Patrick Corgan, being the diehard Pumpkins fan that I am. But I would have to ask, who booked this shit?
I have a feeling it was Billy Corgan. I'm just saying. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah.
Doug Williams and Davey Boy Smith Jr. won the Commonwealth. Won the Commonwealth. Won the NWA World Tag Titles.
Good.
And then
Stampede stud.
Yeah, and then of course we have New Japan had Dominion. Big implications here. Goto lost to Tanahashi, so Tanahashi is going to be facing Jon Moxley at Forbidden Door for the belt for the AEW Interim Championship of the World. Will Ospreay is your new IWGP United States Heavyweight Champion, and out of nowhere, I didn't see this at all. When I did my predictions for this match, I predicted Okada was going to cleanly beat Jay White. Oh no, it is the reign of the Switchblade era, ladies and gentlemen. So Okada drops it to Jay freaking White.
So does this mean Jay White and Hangman at Forbidden Door? That could be a barn burner.
That is going to be good, because now that adds an interesting angle with Adam Cole as well. The animosity between Cole and Page is huge. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Gentlemen below me.
That's the match on Dynamite. Hangman goes against White. Or is it a 3-way battle? Could they have Cole, Page, and White in a 3-way battle for the title?
The JFB, he loves a good 3-way, so I'm going to go with the 3-way on that one. So let's go to our quick news really quickly. So speaking of Davey Boy Smith Jr., it seems like Jr. was actually going to be called the Stampede Stud on SmackDown if he stayed and he wasn't let go or released. Oh, dear God.
On the surface, it looks like a bad gimmick.
Yeah.
But I could see it working depending on how they do it.
Yeah. I mean, it's Vince. I mean, this should not come as any surprise. There should be no head shaking and sighing in this. This is Vince. This is not a surprise. This isn't coming out of left field, guys.
I know.
What do you guys think about Davey Boy Smith Jr. possibly being the Stampede stud?
Well, we know where he came from. We know where he came
yeah.
from. I mean, the whole family comes from the Stampede territory, which Hart, of course, created. But I don't like this. I mean, why he can't just stay Davey Boy Smith Jr. in honor of his father just does not. It doesn't settle well with me for him being called the Stampede stud. It doesn't work with me.
Yeah. What do you think, Dr. Brad?
I think Vince was sitting in his office going, Davey Boy Smith, Hart family, gotta play tribute. Stampede Wrestling. Damn it, you'll be known as the Stampede stud. It'll be such good shit.
Good shit, damn it.
You kind of sounded like Beavis there for a second. I hate to say that.
all I can say is this. The only thought that goes through my head is if Stu Hart was alive today, he would be like, I don't like it. Stu would just be, Stu is rolling in his grave right now as we speak. Or he's cremated. I don't know if he's in the ground or he's in the urn, but by God, that man is spinning somewhere. A really cool story came out. During the battle of in the Ukraine against Russia, there was this little boy who is highly autistic and his mom wanted to leave the Ukraine and get away from the battle. And the kid said no, because that's his home. He was attached to it. So she convinced him to leave by telling him they're going to go look for John Cena. So what happened was, as everything in this world, it goes viral. John Cena gets a hold of it. Mind you that this is during the Queen's Jubilee, which means air traffic through Europe is almost at a nil. John Cena hopped into a private plane, flew to Connecticut, got in touch with Bruce Pritchard, filled the private jet full of John Cena merch and WWE merch, flew to Africa, and then up to the Netherlands where this kid is living, and took a weekend out of his life to meet this kid and to give him probably the biggest Cena hug I've ever seen. You can say what you want about John Cena as a wrestler, but as a humanitarian, holy shit, that guy is gold. I mean, he does 400 Make-A-Wishes a year minimum. What do you guys think about John Cena? Is this guy going to heaven?
This is the classiest move in the history of wrestling. And if Cena was down here, for me, he's up here now.
Yeah.
John Cena is what I may infuriate some people with what I'm about to say, but I will make no apologies for this. John Cena is what Hulk Hogan failed to be. Yeah, he is. John Cena, and to be honest with you, even as a wrestler, I'm not saying he's the greatest in the world, but I've always thought he was a good wrestler. I think he's had great matches under his belt, but the person he is, I mean, people are going to remember that he just got a heart of gold. Yeah,
absolutely. What do you think, Mr. Collins?
Well, I've been a Cena fan since Prototype. Okay, so we're talking before he was actually on the main card, and the fact that he is the number one go-to guy for Make-A-Wish. Yeah, you know, he had 500-600 of them that he's done, and then I saw the video of this, and I will not lie to you, I cried.
I did. I bawled.
This was an amazing story, and you could tell
when I'm getting the fuzzies.
Yeah, you could tell by the look on that kid's face that you know that he just made his day, and he spent the whole day with the kid.
Oh yeah.
And, you know, they were playing games and this, that, and the other thing, and it was just a fantastic story, fantastic
so go
video.
to YouTube after the show, give it a watch. I know I am. It'll be a feel-good moment.
Yeah, I'll find it on YouTube, but I'll put it in the show notes this time. I promise. Some really quick stuff. Tony Angelo got hurt. He apparently dislocated a shoulder or torn his shoulder apart in an NXT live event. Gunther wins the Intercontinental title on SmackDown. How soon do we think that it's not going to be defended at Money in the Bank? Do we want to start putting money on this at Money in the Bank? It will not be defended because it'll be now 3 pay-per-views in a row that the Intercontinental title has not been defended.
There's no money in my bank, so I'm not putting any money on it.
I'm going on a limb here. That
Yeah.
is due to be on the pay-per-view.
You think it's going to be on the pay-per-view?
It's going to be.
Okay.
Now, would you consider pre-show pay-per-view?
No, that's not. That doesn't count.
Okay, so
No,
it'll be on
the
the pre-show.
It's going to be on the main show.
Okay.
Out on a limb.
All right. Apollo Crews and General Aziz are now permanently on NXT for the near future. WWE releases are supposed to be coming very soon. And Vince apparently is hitting up all the publishing houses to shop his memoirs. Is this a buy or is this I'll wait till somebody gives it to me as a gift and then I'll read it.
That's toilet paper.
Oh, Canada Dry just nailed it right on the head. What do you guys think? You guys interested in buying Vince's book?
So
No.
I would say that once a Vince McMahon memoir comes out, I will relate, and I will wait until the Snyder Cut version is released, so we get the real version.
I'll watch it on Netflix any day, but I'm not.
Now,
Yeah.
I do have a washer dryer that's kind of off balance that might be able to slide under there and even it out. So,
All I gotta say is this.
Please, Boyle's son says no.
Yeah. All I gotta say is this. You will know very well that history is written by the champions, the winners, the people who are victors. And Vince McMahon is probably going to tell a very interesting, if not very alternate history. Can you imagine the revisionist history in that book?
Combining here. Look at this.
Yes. All right, so that is the news. And now, of course, it's time to go to our joke of the week, brought to you by, well, we'll wait for it. We got a really good sponsor, but joke of the week is going to be by Taylor Cooper from AFW. So here is joke of the week.
What's going on, everybody? It's Coop, and here is your joke of the week. What username did the alligator pick for his Instagram account? The Instigator.
Oh, joke of the week brought to you by Spatula City. That's right, Spatula City. You can't say I love you than with the gift of a spatula. Spatula City now with 8 locations nationwide. Spatula City.
We sell spatulas. And
that's all.
That's all. Dr. Brad, you look completely lost. Do you know what we're talking about?
Apparently, there's joke of the week.
Spatula City is from the movie UHF with
Yeah. I'm going to send you a link, and it's a great movie. If you want to just watch something stupid for 90 minutes, that's the way to go. So, all right, but Spatula City.
Why? Where did you get that?
Dr. Brad's like, apparently there's a place to buy spatulas.
I think each week our sponsor should be something from that movie.
I think so.
We're Bowling for burgers next time. Bowling for burgers.
We're almost running out of Futurama references, so now it's on the UHF.
Or we can do some Spinal Tap and crank it up to 11.
There you go. I like that. We could do some Spinal Tap. Fat bottom girls.
Fat bottom girls. Oh yeah.
Smell the glove.
Yeah, smell the glove. Right, smell the glove. All right, so we are going to go.
Thanks for the love. That's what's our friend Limelight.
All right, let's go to our main event. Holy crap. It's main event time. Gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Woo! So one has to wonder why we have so many people on our show. It is because we like to do once a month a roundtable. an King Arthurian, if you will, of insight into certain topics by me, the topic master. And I'm going to go with the first one. With the rash of injuries to AEW, was not having Wardlow in the world title picture good or bad for AEW? Jaiden Collins, you go first.
Bad. I think he should have been in there.
Yeah. Okay. Canada Dry.
Say that this is the roundest table I've ever seen
Oh, yeah.
in my entire life. It's not oval. It's
no.
It's round.
Yeah.
I think if they got Wardlow in there and had some way to eliminate him,
Yeah.
after he threw 10 guys out or something,
Yeah.
it would have been good to build his character. They could have had someone come in and cost him the shot, maybe even Scorpio Sky.
No. That would set up the TNT title for sure. Dr. Brad, what do you think?
Well, I first just want to say that this is certainly the roundest table. It's so round that I would say it's a perfect circle. All we need is some mer de nom, a sea of names coming in. So for all you music aficionados, perfect circle, mer de nom. It's a banger. It's a 5-star. Check it out. Doctor's orders. It'll rock your fucking face off.
Yeah.
That being said, so having Wardlow just officially sign from a storyline perspective, I'm actually okay with him being in the TNT title picture personally. With Forbidden Door coming along, I'm interested to see what they do with the main event. I think it'd be interesting to have a New Japan talent, be the interim champion to face off against CM Punk. Wardlow, he'll be a future champion, but we've got time to build that story.
Yeah. I agree with all of you. It's neither good nor bad. It's kind of in the middle. I would love to have seen Wardlow just because he's got that thunderous heat behind him right now.
Says, I'm just glad Wardlow has a legit reason to go after Sky, and they remember what happened. I love that.
Yeah, that's Tony Mark. That's Tony the Mark Khan. He keeps a notebook, just like the JFB. Here's JFB's notebook right here. Look at that, detailed notes on everything. My God, and that's what Tony Khan does because we've seen it. He carries it with him on the sidelines in the Jacksonville Jaguar games. Sorry about that. button mash. Oh, geez. You think that we'd have a lot better production quality. I'm blaming Kenny on that one. I think Kenny's screwing around with the soundboard again.
Oh, yeah, I think he's backstage causing havoc because we haven't brought him on yet.
He's getting super pissed. He's like, I'm timing this out, guys, and you should do about 5 minutes per question so I can get on and talk. So, all right, so let's go to number 2. Cody Rhodes out for probably about 6 to 9 months is what the most people are saying. WWE is saying 9 months. I'm thinking it's going to be between 6 to 9 with the torn pectoral. Was moving Edge to the babyface side a good move for WWE? Is Edge going to be that guy who eventually is going to challenge Roman Reigns as a babyface for a title?
Who you got going first?
Yeah. I guess I'll go first.
Yeah, you go first. What the hell?
Okay, why not? I like the idea of Balor in the group, and then kicking Edge out kind of ticked me off. But I see what they're doing with this. Edge wouldn't be a bad opponent for Reigns. Because I don't think they ever had a real one-on-one. It was a triple threat, if I remember right. So a one-on-one Edge Roman, I don't mind that. However, why turn someone heel and then 2 months later turn them back babyface? It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. What do you think, Dr. Brad?
you know, the whole swerve with Judgment Day, I think everybody was expecting Finn to join, but not a lot of people expected Edge to be booted.
Right.
Honestly, I think it's a great setup for Finn to really reestablish himself as a top talent and lead Judgment Day to some victories, and then have him be one to challenge Roman. It's a great setup. You could put Edge in there. He's a big star. We know that we're going to see Drew McIntyre eventually challenge, but we're getting Riddle this coming Friday on SmackDown. I mean, so this is opportunity for WWE to really showcase and develop what they have and not just give us these same old repeat matches. You know, in the world of wrestling, we've got a lot of talent that's out right now due to injuries or whatever reason.
Yeah. Canada Dry, what is your thoughts on this?
Originally, I thought this was just a way to have Edge have some time off, but I found out I was wrong. He's not taking time off. It's just moving him as a face. That doesn't make any sense to me. I would have liked to see Edge remain with the group, and then maybe later on you could have done this. Maybe in a month or two. It would have made more sense 2 months from now than right now.
So what does this do to Judgment Day? Does this hurt them? Does this give them a better mojo going in now they have that momentum? Especially with what's-her-face, Rhea Ripley winning a title match.
I think it's fine for Judgment Day. I think they're going to be like a huge force. I think just as Dr. Campbell said, it helps Finn be the main guy. But what it does do, it makes WWE look stupid. So it hurts the overall product. Not really Judgment Day, though.
Okay. Jaiden, what do you think about Judgment Day?
Well, I love the group. I've loved them since the first day that they formed. I thought it was a great concept. I thought adding Finn was a perfect addition. Never saw Edge getting booted. That was not even in the picture. However, right now we kind of see Finn Balor as the leader. I think you'll find out that in the end, Rhea Ripley might be the leader of Judgment Day.
I would
love to see that because we haven't seen a male-female faction with a female leader.
And I don't think you will see it because I don't think it's that time.
But if you want to really push Rhea, which is I think what they're trying to do right now, that would be perfect and a golden opportunity to do this. Just my thought on that. So.
Dr. Brad, what do you think? Judgment Day.
I had mixed thoughts about Judgment Day when they first formed, but I was optimistic mostly. I think this move was actually it was a fresh idea. It was something that nobody saw coming, and that's one of the big hurdles that WWE has had is being able to really surprise its audience. Aside from and Cody coming back, I mean, there was even fans that were suspecting it, but it was still such a huge moment. But this was something that was just out of left field. And things like that is what is going to keep viewers and wrestling fans interested. And that's what we need to see more of from WWE, because if they can succeed as the biggest wrestling promotion, it helps wrestling as a whole.
Yeah, completely agree. I mean, here, Judgment Day, the rumor is too that Edge wanted nothing to do with them because they wanted to go with a supernatural aspect of it. Finn has no business. Oh, Dally. That's why we love you, man. Those comments right there is the reason why we love having you on the show. The fact is that, Rhea Ripley seems to be the only person I think that can benefit from having Edge taken out. Her, I think, she's not going to be the leader because that's too progressive for Vince to make a woman a leader of a mostly male faction. But I think it opens the door for her because I think out of all of them, she's the one that's going to get pushed. I mean, they try to push Finn.
Oh yeah, I
and
agree.
then
I think that her star gets will shine the brightest from where it was.
Yeah. I mean, Finn's had his day in the sun with WWE. Damian Priest, I mean, he's not young. I mean, he's young to WWE, but the guy's 40 plus years old. I mean, he's been around the block a lot. So Rhea Ripley's still in her mid to late 20s. She's got another 15, 20, 30 years.
Not really. WWE, once you're past 30, you're down.
Well, I mean, they're looking at releases again coming soon. So let's go to our third one. So Thunder Rosa has been heard saying that her not being on TV has hurt the championship. It's hurt her brand. This seems to be a common occurrence with Tony Khan, especially when it comes to women and women of color. I mean, Big Swole, obviously there was that big hoodoo about Big Swole not being pushed, not getting TV time. Here you are, your AEW women's world champion, not on TV, hardly any, and then they give her a throwaway match after this comment comes out. They give her a throwaway match with Shafir. Is this an issue of race, gender, or maybe both? Canada Dry, you go first. I like to cut you, Jim.
Here's my thing on this. When you are on TV, you have to make the most of every single minute that you have. Yeah. And I'm sorry, but every time she was on TV in that Deeb feud, she wasn't that good.
Yeah.
Deeb did well in a couple of those, but she wasn't that good. And you have to step it up, Thunder. And when you every single second you get, you got to step it up. So I don't think it's Tony's fault.
Dr. Brad, what do you think?
I've always been a Thunder Rosa fan. So I hadn't really thought much about it just because AEW's just put on such a high quality product, and I feel like for the most part a lot of their champions have been showcased rather well. But when she made that statement, I kind of went back and noticed, she really hasn't been on as much, and it seemed like they just kind of they gave the dog a bone, so to say, by letting her have a match with Marina Shafir. There's a lot more talent they could have thrown her way. You could have put her up against, Jamie Hayter. You could have had Athena come out and had a big match. There's a lot they could have done. So my thing is, if the company does not have faith in their champion, why does she have the belt?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
And this isn't me just, this isn't me dogging Thunder Rosa here. This is me being objective and saying, if you don't feel that your champion is the best person to hold that belt, why do they have it?
The belt offer, right?
Yeah.
What do you think, Jaiden?
Well, let's take it back a little further than Thunder Rosa, shall we?
Okay.
Let's take it back to when Hangman Adam Page first won the AEW World title. The first 3 months of his reign were so dull because he didn't really have any matches. They didn't focus on him. Now it's happening to Thunder Rosa. She won the AEW Women's title, and since then, what's happened? Once again, being pushed to the back burner. And that's a problem. And I kind of agree with what Bradley was saying, that they're not forefronting their champions and stuff like that. I don't think really it's a race thing, because it's obviously happening in other aspects as well. Yeah. But if you're going to have someone as champion, you need to put them on the forefront.
I think it comes down to this. I think they want someone that is awesome on the mic, and it's not Thunder.
Yeah,
but that's the thing. When it comes to being champion, it covers all aspects. Yeah, one may not be awesome on the mic, but they're a hell of a competitor in the ring. I mean, that should overpower in my eyes.
I agree.
I think Thunder is a better wrestler than Britt.
Mm-hmm.
But Britt is better on the mic. So what's more important?
That's what I think personally. It's what the fans think. If the fans wanted Rosa to win it, The fans love the fact she won it.
Yeah.
But yet the fans are hating the fact that there's no Thunder Rosa. You know, it's like, what happened?
Here's the JFB's take. When you're the problem with Tony Khan and AEW, and this is the biggest glaring issue with them right now, is that they can't tell a storyline past the chase. They can get to the chase and they can tell that amazing story. And they've done it twice now. They've done it with Hangman Page and Kenny Omega, and they've done it with Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker. Years-long storytelling, getting to a point where Thunder Rosa is chasing, Hangman Page is chasing, and then when they get the belt, it's like creative just goes, what the fuck are we going to do now? This is where Vince has an advantage because Vince plans out. Now, obviously, injuries and other shit happens, and you got to go ahead and take a detour, but he's eventually going to get from one WrestleMania to the other WrestleMania. That's how it works with Vince. He's able to tell storylines so that when the champ finally wins, they have a storyline set and ready. Now, you know, we'll talk more about Roman in a few minutes, but you know, that's the problem with Tony Khan and AEW. I'm not sure who else is in Tony Khan's ear. Is it Jericho? Is it this? Is it that? But I don't think it's a wrestler. I think it's guys like Jerry Lynn. I think it's guys like
Regal now.
Yeah, Regal, who are getting in his ear and saying, you got to do something, because I loved Paige winning. I hated Paige's championship run. It was the most boring thing until he lost to Punk.
Thunder's title run is worse than
Thunder's is 10 times worse. Again, it was great watching her get the belt, and then they were like, well, we're just going to have random matches with no build-up. That's the problem. So that's JFB's hot take, brought to you by Spatula City, now with 9 locations.
9?
Yeah, they just opened a new one as we were on the air. They just grand opened a new one in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Let's go to our number 4, Randy Orton. Randy. If you're interested, the JFB's personal Twitter account is going to be renamed the Randy Orton Mustache account. I'm going to speak from third person as if I was Randy Orton's mustache. So look forward to that in the next couple of days. With Randy Orton having a pretty serious injury, there has been a lot of talk, and a lot of people, other wrestlers, have come out and said he needs to retire. Does Randy Orton retire? Dr. Brad, you go first.
I don't see it just yet. Orton is third generation wrestler. He's very, very knowledgeable in the business. He's very solid in the ring. When you get Randy Orton wrestling, you're going to get a quality match. He's not going to cheat anybody. As bodies get older, they're going to be more prone to injury. You're not going to be able to do things that you were able to at a younger age. But I mean, we've had guys that worked well into their 40s, even their 50s, that still put on amazing matches.
Yeah.
So I think Randy he's done all that there needs to be, but you could tell he had a hell of a run and was having the time of his life working with Riddle.
Yeah.
So with all he's done, I'd say he probably just needs some time off, and really for him to take time off would be a huge benefit. It allows him to rest up. It allows him to get rejuvenated, to come back and do what he needs to do. And also that's more room for other guys to shine, because as much as we loved RK Bro, I mean, that helped establish Riddle even more as a great talent. I mean, like I said, I'm excited for Riddle and Reigns. That's going to be a hell of a match. And for that to be on SmackDown. I mean, we haven't really seen that kind of stuff on WWE much in years, so it's a real treat for the fans.
Hey,
yeah.
Caleb, what the hell is PCB? What is PCB? That's what I want to know. He keeps on putting this on there. What is PCB?
All I gotta say is this: if it is what I think it is, it's the angel dust that you put in your pot to get it extra high. Is PCB, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but JFB is from old school.
Unless it's a typo and you have PCP.
But
That's right. It's PCP, not PCB. Sorry. PCB is peanut butter crackers and pork butt, Boston butt.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that.
Trust me, I'm a doctor.
I really like what Dr. AFW said. Jericho lasted so long in this business by knowing when he's burnt out, by knowing when he needs some time off creatively, go do other things, and come back when he's ready. And I think that is brilliant. And I think that's the best thing for Randy is to just be in love with wrestling and not do it just because there's money in it.
Yeah. Mr. Collins, like to get your thoughts on good old Randy Orton and his mustache.
Randy, I think this is a great idea for him to take time off because his run with Riddle, he's even said it himself. Over the past 20 years, this is the most fun he's ever had. I don't see RK Bro ending. I see them reuniting when he comes back. But it was really cool to see Riddle and Nakamura tag up because, they both had the issues with RK Bro and with Rick Boogs and stuff with the Bloodline. So I thought it was really cool to see them tag up. So as he said, it was letting someone else shine. This was Nakamura's moment with Riddle. And an amazing match, by the way. I think this is great because he's in his 40s. He's around my age, so it's things are starting to ache and creak and groan. Trust me, I know the feeling. But he'll come back. I think he'll be better than ever as far as hanging it up. I don't see it for at least another 5 years. I think he's still got a little bit in that tank, and Orton's obviously one of those that will run it down on empty before he hangs up his boots.
I just wanted to address this Alex Haney thing. So he says, how do you explain the last 3 years, Aaron, about Jericho? Well, he's only working once a week, twice a week. So he's got lots of time to do what he wants.
Yeah.
I think he just made the list.
Allow me to answer that question because he's a wizard.
He's a wizard, damn it.
A wizard.
So here's the JFB's take. All three of you are incorrect. Randy Orton needs to retire where he can go live in Pensacola, Florida, and become a greeter at a local Publix. That is the correct answer. I'm deducting.
Or maybe
17.
a franchise owner of Spatula City.
Spatula City, with 10 locations. So I'm subtracting 15 nectarines from each of you for that answer.
I had 15 nectarines. No.
Well, no, now you don't. Now you're
I don't even like nectarines. That's fine with me.
So listen, I'm as a person who's damn near the halfway point of his illustrious 100 years on this earth, I am all for Randy Orton doing what he needs to do. I think he needs to start wrestling a lot less because let's face it, he kind of came in the back end of the Attitude Era going into the other era where body shots and headshots were not uncommon. So I think he needs the time off. I think he'll come bigger.
We got a really good comment from Dallas.
You get a foul thrown in your face and you make the list.
Make the list.
Dally, that's about the most dead-on answer. Dally gets 24 nectarines and a 6-pack of Ocean Spray cooler with that one.
And one Molson.
Yeah, and so AEW is debuting an All Atlantic Championship belt. So I'm guessing people on the West Coast and in the Asia Pacific are not going to be eligible to fight for this belt. Do they have too many championships? Tony Khan kind of coming across like Oprah. If you look under your seat, there's a championship for you. You get a championship and you get a championship. Do we think that they're going overboard on the belts? Canada Dry, you go first.
No, I don't think so because Ring of Honor is separate. It's a separate entity when they have their whatever they're going to do for the show on that. Those belts are separate. And I just don't understand the name. All Atlantic.
Yeah.
It's going to be the East Coast of North America, Central America, South America, then Europe, and front part of Africa, the Atlantic Ocean.
Beautiful belt.
Gorgeous belt. Yeah. Dr. Campbell, what do you think?
That's a real good point about there being other belts from other promotions because Ring of Honor it is a separate entity, but the TNT you've got the TNT and the TBS title that are kind of more. It's almost like a television championship in a way.
Yeah.
Is how I think of it because you're representing the network that you're being advertised on. I can see this as almost being like a step up in a way, almost kind of like an intercontinental title. So it would be good to have a belt with maybe a little more prestige as the company grows. And as they start to get more traction and more talent, so I don't have a problem with it. But I will say though that I do want to get my factions belt, for your 3-man tag teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think of the name? What do you think of the name?
Mid Atlantic,
All Atlantic,
or All Atlantic. Indifferent.
That's it right there.
He's trying to be nice to AEW, but
Jaiden, what do you think, brother?
The name gives me a migraine. I don't like the name. I mean, I like the concept. It's their equivalent to the Intercontinental title, but the name sucks. I'm sorry, it just does.
It's the shits.
It's a shit, exactly.
It's a drizzling shit.
3 words summed it up, and he got it. My personal opinion, I don't think 6 is too many belts. In fact, my feeling on this is, I think that with Rampage, Dynamite, they're having their own belts. I think Dark needs their own belts because these are people that don't make it on TV.
Yeah.
These are up and comers. It's kind of like their version of NXT. They need their own belts down there on Dark, and I think that would be a great
step. They should have called the belt.
What?
The Pacific Atlantic Championship. Easy.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
JFB is a fan of belts. I have a few myself, so I'm all for belts. Belts. All right, let's get to our number 6. Roman Reigns is now missing his second pay-per-view at Money in the Bank.
Wow.
What does this do to his momentum? Because to be honest with you, I think he's had an amazing run with at least one championship. The whole Bloodline storyline has been probably the one shining thing that's come out of that turd called WWE. What does this do to his momentum into the Bloodline stories? I'm going to go with Canada Dry first. I like the cut of your jib.
You like the cut of my jib? I like the cut of your jib. Roman Reigns, he's earned that prestigious time away, just like Hogan. And when he's finally on TV, it's prestigious. It's that, oh my goodness, Roman's on TV. Like I remember when I was a kid and Hulk Hogan was going to be on TV with the title, and you're like, Hulk Hogan is defending on Superstars against Cowboy Bob Orton. Oh my goodness. And you're like,
yeah,
it was huge.
Yeah.
And I think that it makes Randy Orton even a bigger draw not to see him for a while.
Yeah. Mr. Collins, what do you think?
I've got mixed feelings on this because we're not even seeing him. It's not so much that he's not having matches; we're not even seeing him.
Yeah.
And it's like you want to keep. I mean, yeah, we all know he's the undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion, but at least have him make appearances. Have him have a promo in the ring or something like that, just so everybody knows, hey, he's still here physically. Hell, via satellite works for me at this point. And I think personally that Money in the Bank, if he didn't defend last month, he should be defending. I would think he would have defended at Money in the Bank. And because every 30 days they're supposed to be defending their title.
Yeah,
and he obviously has gone past the 30, which leads me to another point of why is he still champion if he can't defend the title?
I agree.
It just I think that's we're going back to the days of well, actually it's kind of recent. I mean, we saw a couple people that have titles that haven't defended them in a while, and it's like, what's the point in holding them if you can't defend them?
The last time I think they did this was Hulk Hogan. Like, I don't think they did this since Hulk Hogan. You didn't have pay-per-views every month when Hulk Hogan was champion, and you would see him for months.
No, but at least on like All American Wrestling or Superstars or Prime Time, he was defending the title from time to time on these shows. He's not even really defend. This is the first time he's defended the title, I think. And this is against Riddle. So, what do we got to wait another 2 months?
Yeah. Okay.
Look at
Dr.
this.
Brad, what do you think?
Dallas and the old dude setting the standards. Like Bruno Sammartino, one of the all-time greats, and
Bruno Sammartino is the reason why you have WWE. That man carried and ushered in the modern era of wrestling until he left. So, Dr. Brad, what do you think?
I look back at the title reign of John Cena and say what you want about Cena when he was WWE champion, but he was there. He wrestled, and even if some of the booking had Super Cena, so to say, you still knew he was going to be there. You still knew that he was going to be that fighting champion, and really, that's what pro wrestling needs. I'm not saying you have to defend at every single pay-per-view, but you should be active. Fans are paying money because you are the draw. That's why you're the champion. You're the draw. You're the reason why fans are coming to shows, buying the merchandise, and tuning in to pay-per-views. So if you're not going to be advertised, then what's the point? I know that Vince has this whole mindset of let's book it like MMA. It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
No.
It's not the same. It's professional wrestling. Treat it like professional wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. So, quick question for follow-up for you guys. Yes or no only, please. Does it make the championships meaningless? Canada Dry, you go first.
No.
Mr. Collins?
Yes.
All right. Dr. Brad?
Yes.
JFB's take is this. You were all correct and incorrect. Listen, the guy's coming off of almost a year plus of having cancer. I'm a cancer survivor, and I can tell you this. It took me 3, maybe 4 years before I finally got to the point where I felt physically like the same that I was before I got cancer. Wow. So he's who knows? He could be really just, he could just be, shitbagging it right now because he's just out of juice. He just needs to recharge. I think it does make the championships legitimately meaningless. I think the problem you have to have is you have to have somebody defending that belt all the time. That's what drove me nuts about Brock Lesnar. As much as I love Brock Lesnar, Brock Lesnar was not there every week, and he didn't defend every pay-per-view, and it drove me insane.
Yeah, when he was a heel, when he was a face, he was there every week.
Proves it doesn't.
Yeah.
What?
All right, let's get to our last one. Second to last one, our number 7. This is going to be a really quick one. Ric Flair, at the tender age of 754, is going to be wrestling his last match. The question is this truly going to be his last match? And if so, what does this match do to his legacy as maybe one of the greats, if not the greatest of all time? Dr. Brad, you go first.
Well, it's almost like the Kiss never-ending farewell tour.
Yeah.
I mean, if it is, then great. But I mean, if not, the end of the day, Ric Flair is an established legend in professional wrestling.
Yeah.
He has nothing left to prove. We know what Ric Flair is capable of. We've seen him. We've seen some recent videos of him working. Yes, he could still work, but does he need to? No. I'm going to say more than likely it probably is just because of his age. But, if we get a final match, let's say in a couple years, I won't be surprised by that either.
Yeah. Mr. Collins, you go next.
Well, we have seen in the past many wrestlers have wrestled in their 50s, their 60s, their 70s, even their 80s, going all the way back to Lou Thez. Okay, so you've had Fabulous Moolah, even Mae Young took her bumps in her 80s.
Yeah,
Ric Flair, if you step in the ring again, I promise you, both hips will be broken. Now, I won't lie to you. When the idea came across of Flair Steamboat one last time, I was psyched. I will not lie to you. But that obviously, Steamboat wanted nothing of it. He says, I'm done. I'm officially done. So now who's going to take? Now we're hearing it's going to be Flair versus McMahon. No, we don't need to see.
It's not.
Freaking,
it's a tag match.
It's I'm good. If it's not Flair Steamboat, I'm good with this not happening. I don't want to see it happen.
Oh, Canada Dry.
Okay.
Grace us with your thoughts and pleasures of
You're not going
Ric
to like
Flair.
this, but Flair can wrestle the same as he always did. He sucks. Flair. The only thing he can't do is that flip that he flies up on the turnbuckle. So
don't forget he falls down face first.
Flair's style isn't that where he's needing that crazy athletic genes. He's just technical style, slow, methodical, and he can still do it. It's not like he's getting power bombed or anything like that. But I don't want to see it.
No.
I gotta say this, and it's funny because it's happening in Nashville, and I have been invited to go see it, and I'm still debating whether or not I want to. I kind of want to because I want to see Flair, because to me he's in my Mount Rushmore. He is absolutely one of my all-time favorite wrestlers. I have a autograph with him or Roddy Piper. I mean, I have his figures. Despite the whole helicoptering thing, I still
I'm taking that effing bazooka and shooting Mount Rushmore as long as it doesn't hit Brett.
I got Brett on there too. Brett's on my Mount Rushmore.
Brett on one side, put Flair on the other, so I can shoot Flair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brett's at the top of my Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, but for me, I don't want to see Geriatric Fight Club. I don't want to see Flair in the 70s running the ropes with a walker with tennis balls on the bottom so they can slide a lot quicker. I don't want to see Geriatric Fight Club. If I want to see Geriatric Fight Club, I'm going to go to Walmart and I'm going to say that vitamins are 75% off and just watch the melee happen. That's what I want. That's Geriatric Fight Club.
We make a Ric Flair shirt that says Geriatric Fight Club.
I can do that.
I will say one more thing real quick. I remember back in 1993, WCW did Slamboree, a Legends Reunion. One of my favorite pay-per-views from WCW. And we saw in a 15-minute time limit draw, Nick Bockwinkel versus Dory Funk.
Yeah.
And they were well in their 50s and early 60s, and they went 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like they can do it, but of course that was 30 years ago. Now these days, I'm not saying Flair couldn't do it. I just don't want to see him do it. But he is definitely on my Mount Rushmore.
So here we go. I want you guys in 30 seconds or less, say something nice about someone in professional wrestling. Canada Dry. Say something nice. Who are you going to say something nice about? And you got 30 seconds.
I will say something nice about FTR and when Bret Hart managed them, especially Dax. He was over the moon, having a shot with his hero. He even said on Twitter, You can call me a Mark all you want. I just got to have a tequila shot with my hero.
Yeah. Okay. Jaiden Collins, 30 seconds. Say something nice about somebody in professional wrestling.
NXT UK Women's Champion. You can't get much better than the one and only Mako Satomura. She in her 40s. I've seen her since her debut in WCW. She's an amazing talent, and right now she is unstoppable. You've had Blair Davenport try to beat her. Ivy Nile tried to beat her recently. Who's going to be the one to take down Mako Satomura?
Nobody.
She might have that title for a lot longer than Kaylee Ray did.
Yep. Dr. Brad, say something nice about somebody in professional wrestling.
Well, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, he just put his heart and soul into everything he had at Hell in a Cell, and he did it for the fans, and he is the man.
There you go. Here's JFB's hot take. I'm going to say something nice about Vince McMahon. Get ready. Get on your flame retardant underpants because this one's going to be hot.
I put my seatbelt on.
All right, here we go. The fact is that if AWA, NWA, and all the other promotions that he purchased over the years actually did good business, there wouldn't be a WWE. They were horrible business people who didn't know how to run a business. Vince did. Vince took advantage of it, and it's for the best because we wouldn't be where we are now talking about wrestling if it wasn't for Vince McMahon. Vince, I love you, brother, and you can send that $50 in cash directly to the JFB on PayPal. All right, that is our main event. Holy Christopher Columbus! We had a lot of people watching today. What?
We ran out of time for Kenny.
We completely forgot about Kenny. Oh God, Kenny.
I'm not blaming Bradley.
Oh,
Bradley
man.
this time. It's not his fault.
Yeah. Here's the deal, Kenny. I'm going to send you a gift card to the Golden Corral, and you just store up as many ribs that you possibly can. Your little heart can eat. And next week, I promise you, if you survive Golden Corral, by God, we will get you on the air.
That whole band was gassy as hell.
Yes. So anyways, you can find us on Facebook. You can find our Prediction League on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on the TikTok. You don't stop. You can find us on pretty much every social media except for Pornhub. And I'm sure if we
going on Pornhub ever.
Yeah, we're not going on Pornhub, but we might have an OnlyFans.
We have a draw next week.
We have a draw next week. Yeah.
We're giving away a pro wrestling t-shirt. You can pick whatever you want, whoever your favorite wrestler is.
Yeah, you don't have to pick one of ours.
You can pick whoever you want. You can watch a man, CM Punk, whatever. But in order to get in this draw, you got to invite your friends to the All Effin' Facebook page, group page, and get your name in the form there. Invite some people. Tell us who you invited. Or if you're new to the page, you are also in the draw. Yeah. So you have 1 week to get your names in to get that t-shirt next week.
Yep. So, and you can find us on YouTube. We're at youtube.com/effin wrestling. If you click like and subscribe, you'll be put into our monthly drawing. This month, we're going to give away a Bret Hart SummerSlam figure from Ringside Collectibles. It's really good. It's lifelike. The measurements, it's all proportionate. It's awesome. We're just giving it away. I'm like, I don't want one. Yeah, Canada Dry doesn't need one. I don't need one, but you're going to get one, by God, because you guys freaking rock. So all you got to do is click like and subscribe. You can find all these links and more at our brand new spanking state-of-the-art website, effinwrestling.com. And if you like t-shirts like the TDS from AFW t-shirt right here, the Just Another Effin' podcast, Jaiden's got one. We're going to get one for Dr. Brad. You can go to prowrestling.com/effin' wrestling. If you're a fan of old school wrestling, and we know you are, you can get your Adrian Adonis merch. We run it, damn it. And it's at prowrestling.com/Adrian Adonis. And we run his Twitter as well. If you're a Natalia Markova fan, we have the fan club tees as well. Again, prowrestlingtees.com/effin' wrestling. And, we always talk about the Hulk Hogan at the end of every episode. Every Wednesday, me and you, we come up with our show notes. I write them in my notebook. I send a copy to the Hulkster. And what did he think about the roundtable discussion? Was he kind of upset he wasn't involved?
No, Hulk Hogan has been a delight lately.
What? Is he drugs?
Yeah, me and Hulk Hogan and Randy, he's like, tell you what, brother, it's going to be so exciting. I'm going to come on the show. And he's like, we're going to have a lot to talk about. And it's just, we're having some good banter.
Yeah.
So I think Hulk Hogan's he's really excited to come on the show. So oddly enough, Hulk Hogan 2, Effin' Wrestling 377, Canada Dry, out.
This has been an Effin' Worldwide Media production. You can find us on all social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Want to be part of the show and win some free swag? Go to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Effin' Wrestling and click like and subscribe. And while you're at it, why don't you throw a tee on your back? Go to our Pro Wrestling Tee store at prowrestlingtees.com/Effin' Wrestling. You can find all these links and more at our awesome website, effinwrestling.com. And as the JFB always says, you can't book it.